All right, in the next couple of days, we'll be talking about the stock market, the forex market, the crypto market, and how you can benefit from them. A good understanding of these things is very important for you so that you will not sit down in the corner and say, oh, this is very risky, this is not something you can do, whilst it's just things, whilst they are things that you can sit down in the comfort of your room and you can work on. And now, today, we'll be looking at foreign shares, foreign stock. And we've not finished talking about the Nigerian stock. We're talking about the foreign stock. Well, we've always thought about diversification. What do you mean by diversification? That is putting some of your, not, the local terms always say, don't put your eggs in one basket. It is not right for you to put all your investment in a particular country's currency alone. Diversify. So how do you do it? These shares, I don't understand the shares, the Nigerian one, talk less of even understanding the foreign one. Well, this is why you are here. You are going to be learning what are shares and how do they apply to you? How do you invest in them? How do you acquire them? What are their long-term benefits? These are the things we're going to be learning in this as we explore how to invest in foreign shares with as little capital as you can have. Join me on the other side as we discuss further on it.
Waking up at dawnlight, breaking through, chasing dreams, no time to lose. In this race we strive and grind, motivation fuels the mind. Gonna rise up, we won't fall, breaking barriers through it all. Step by step our journey's clear, success is closer, don't you fear. Challenges we face headstrong, in this rhythm we belong. Skies are high, but so are we, building castles where we're free. Gonna rise up, we won't fall.
All right, you are welcome back. There are various reasons why individuals want to invest in foreign stock, and it's very important. The currency, the economic situation of countries changes per time. It could be wonderful now, it could be the other way the next day. And there's no place in the world that is 100% secure. But then when we talk in relation to stability of countries' currencies, there are some countries' currencies that are a little bit more stable than other countries' currencies. So take for instance, if you decide to make an investment in the United States market, the dollar has the reputation of being more stable than the naira that has been having a little bit of volatility over the period of time. So if you invest in the US, in US stocks, then you'll be hedging against inflation and depreciation of your home country's currency. Now, that is just on the surface of it. Now, the other reason why people want to do this diversification and invest in foreign currency is to have access to high growth industries. You can combine up to 5 companies in Nigeria. They are not yet up to one company, the value of one company in the S&P 500 in the United States. So we are talking about large companies. These are companies that have branches all over the world. So when you become a part owner of that kind of company, you know that you are expanding also across the world. So we also talk about portfolio diversification and reduced risk. You want to diversify in case, look at somebody that has invested in Ukraine and there's war in that kind of country now. Now you can imagine if the people in that country or the business who don't have investments in other places, you can just imagine what will happen. Well, we're not saying that to rejoice over them, but just for illustrative purpose. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this episode where we're going to be talking more about this foreign investing in foreign stock. And what are we going to be covering? Just before I go on to that, I want to appreciate all those guys that have been on the call. You are always showing up, watching, and then taking notes. And I see a lot of us taking action. Some people call me and they tell me they are trying to do this, and I'm so glad that you are actually taking action. There's no gain, there's no benefit in you listening to all these lectures without taking necessary actions that will help your finances. And maybe this is the very first time you are joining us on the call. I want to encourage you, why don't you click on the subscribe button? We've been having this training for some couple of weeks now. The theme of the training is financial intelligence for smart parents. So maybe you are a parent, you are a to-be parent, or you are a grandparent, or maybe you are even just a young fellow who is just, you came across this. I want you to click on the subscribe button. Why? So that you can watch the previous videos where we talk about budgeting, setting of goals, psychology of money, a lot of things that we have discussed in the past. So click on the subscribe button so that you can watch the previous one and also get notifications for the future ones that will be coming. I tell you, there are a lot of informations for you to make use of on this channel. All right, and if you have been listening, if you've liked what you've had so far, please kindly click on the like button right now. It doesn't cost you anything. Just click on the like, that thumbs up button, just click on it. All right, let's go deep into what we have. So in today's episode, we're going to be looking at what are shares. When we talk about stock, what do we mean by stock, by the way? Now, when we are talking about stock, we can use them interchangeably, whether stock or shares. Whichever one, it's okay, they mean the same thing. Now, when you talk about the stock of an organization or the shares of an organization, let's take for instance, you started an organization and you started a company, and all you needed to start the company with is 1 million naira. You are able to raise that money for yourself, and as you raise that money, you started your business. You are 100% the owner of that organization. But when you begin to talk of limited liability company and public limited companies, what you call LTD, where you see LTD, the regulatory bodies, they don't believe that only one person should have that kind of company. They expect you to be minimum of 2-3 persons that will be able to manage the affairs of that company. They don't care whether at the end is one person that is running it, but they want to see that who are those people that are filing for that organization. So when these people come together, what are they going to say? What is going to bind them? What will be binding them together is the number of shares. So let's take for instance that the shares, the capital base of this company is 1 million naira. Let's just literally, I don't want to go deeper into this, but let's just say 1 million. Now, this 1 million, about 4 of us came together to start up this business. And then we are going to contribute money. I'm going to bring in maybe 200,000. Another person brings in 300,000. Another person brings in 200,000. Another person brings in 300,000. Now, I that brought 200,000. I have 20% of the share capital of that organization. Now we're talking about share capital now. Now, the other person that bought 300,000 has about 30% of the share capital. Now, when we look at that, because it's a limited liability company, we are not much, maybe maximum 20 of us that we own that kind of company. But when we say a company is public limited company, that means the ownership is beyond the founder, that I am the founder. No, there's no founder. When it comes to that place, the founder, except what counts here is the highest shareholder. You just take, for instance, now as I speak with you, if God can bless me so much that I can sit and I begin to acquire the shares of UBA and I begin to acquire the shares of Dangote in the public market. You can buy it. I can begin to acquire shares of meat. Do you have Dangote shares? I buy. The moment I buy a lot of the shares and I have a substantial amount, I can go to the board and tell them, I want to take over the chairmanship of this company. I can become the chairman of that company. That is why the people that own the company, they try to keep some of these shares. So what does share mean? It means you are a part owner of that company. So the amount of shares that you have will determine your strength in that organization. Of course, somebody that is having 1% of the shares of the company cannot be compared to somebody who has 20% of the shares of the company, although you are all going to sit down together as co-owners of the company. I think I'm able to explain this aspect to you. Share. So anyone, you can be in any part of the world, you can become a part of Apple shares, you can buy Apple shares, you can buy Meta shares, that's a Facebook. Every company, Tesla shares, you can buy those companies' shares as they continue to progress. Now, talking about having understood that, the next thing is, how do I benefit? Okay, I've bought the shares. What are the ways that I can benefit? There are two principal ways that you can use, or there are other ways, but let's just take these two ones that we relate with all of us here. The first one is by receiving payment of dividend payments. Now, when the company has done business and they have made some profit, they now said, okay, we want to share, we will keep some of the money for growth of the company, but we are going to give the people that put their money in this company, we are going to share them part of the profit. So when you talk about dividends is like saying sharing part of the profit of the company. Do you understand? So after tax and everything has been done, you can share. Now that is one aspect. So depending on the number, even if we are 10, we will say because we are 10, we are going to be shared equally. No. How much did you bring now? How much did you bring? They are going to share it according to the proportion of your contribution to the shares to the share capital of that company. Now, the next thing, that the other aspect is in shares or capital appreciation. When we talk about capital appreciation, you see, when you are going into shares, when you want to start buying stock and shares, don't go into stock and shares with the money that you want to use to pay your children's school fees next month, or you want to use to pay salary of your staff, or you want no. The shares, when you buy shares, is mainly for long term. Let's say minimum of about 5 years. So I don't want to touch this money for the next 5 years. I can use it to buy shares. So over the period, just like when you buy land of 1 million naira now, in the next 5 years, that land is now 20 million. The same thing, as a part owner of a company, the shares of the company will appreciate, because maybe when they made profit, instead of them sharing the profit, they put the profits inside the company again, and to increase and expand the operation. Of course, as their operation is increasing, so also their capital base is increasing, because they took part of the profit and added it back to capital. What will now happen to the people that contributed money for that capital? Their own value too will increase. So at times, you could start a company with $100, $2, and over the period, you see, boom, it has grown to almost $200, as I'm going to be showing you on the platform. Now, having cleared that also out of the way, I want to also tell you, are there risks involved as far as shares are concerned? My dear, there are risks involved. In any investment or business venture that you expect a return on investment, you should be ready to accept a level of risk. And that is why we always advise, know the kind of monies that you want to put in the investment vehicle, and then 2, do a good due diligence for yourself to help you in this venture, so that you don't go and put your money where you will later regret it. So we've talked about that. Now I want to kind of take us practically, how do you go about buying shares? How do you go about getting the shares? Do I need to go to the New York Stock Exchange market, since I'm talking about foreign shares? No, there's a way you can do it even from your home. Remember, I think the first training I had on this, I told us about some applications, and the training before this one, we talked about, I told you to go click on the Optimus. There's a link there that there's an application called Optimus, where you can, from the comfort of your home, buy shares. We are going to do everything practically, so you just pay attention. Let's go to the site. Let's go and see what the stock market look like. Now, the name of this site is stockanalysis.com. You can just type it in on your browser and it will come up giving you analysis of every kind of stock that you want to see on the surface of the app, as far as the New York Stock Exchange market is concerned. Just look at this. This is a particular share now. These places here, there's a particular time, according to the US laws and the stock exchange policy, there are reports that must get to some certain platforms so that people can make a decision take informed decisions about the stock they are buying. So take for instance, this is NVIDIA Corporation. If I want to know, I might not know about this company. What is telling me here is that as at the close of business on February 25th, 2025, 4 p.m. Normally the market opens 8 a.m. in their own side, but we have about 6 hours different depending on whether we are on day saving period or not. So technically, when you look at it in Nigeria aspect, maybe about sometimes 2 p.m. or when you watch CNN and you see them ringing the bell, they say the open of the market. That is what they are talking about. That the market is now active. When you see that bell ringing, bang, 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 the market has started. Now, this NVIDIA, the name of it is NVIDIA. I can come here, just look at this place. I can look at what does this company do. Is a corporation This corporation provides graphics and compute and networking solutions. You want to read about it, know what, and it says stock exchange is in the NASDAQ. Now, there are two things I want you to please get in this. When you are searching for the companies to deal with, especially when it comes to the United States of America, one of the things that I advise, you cannot do excellent job as far as due diligence is concerned, but you can try to an extent. You see, any company in the S&P 500 bracket, they seem to be good stocks to buy. In the S&P 5, we call it S&P 500. What is S&P 500? S&P 500 means Standard & Poor's 500. That's the top 500 companies in the United States. And they have a system that if the company is not doing well, there's a way to be taken out of that place, another one will replace it. Always the top 500. That's why people want to buy S&P 500. Then the other one is the NASDAQ. NASDAQ stocks are technological stocks. And because of the way the world is going now, most technological companies are going to be doing great. If you know companies that are into artificial intelligence and things like that, know that they are going to be performing very well. So these are some of the, I just said, let me quickly chip in that as we continue to look at these aspects. Let's continue on this. So it's on NASDAQ. Initial public offer came out in 1999, and they have this number of employees. When you look at this number of employees, these ones may not just go down easily like that. There's no company that can't go down. But now let's look at something. Let's look at their shares, how their shares has been performing. At a point in time, their shares went to as much as, if you look at that places, we're talking of today, within today. We're looking at within today, their shares went as high as 129 and then came down as low as 124. And you see, sometimes we see on your stock schedule, you will see, everything is just showing red. Well, it may show red, but over the period of time, you will see it continue to grow. Look at this. I've just clicked on monthly and it's showing me its performance over the period. For some time now, it has been trending down. But do you know one beautiful thing about stock? You see, when a stock that you like, when you see it going down, you should be happy because this is an opportunity for you to jump in. Presently, one of the things that is making a lot of companies' shares to go down is the new president's policy, President Trump's policy. He said he's going to bring in some tariffs and things trading between Canada and this. So a lot of those things, many investors are afraid. So what most investors do when they are afraid like that, they take out their monies from the market. They take away their money from the market. And of course, when they take out their money from the market will go down, just like you see this one going down. Let's look at another one. Let's try to pick another one. I like this Coca-Cola, the Coca-Cola Consolidated Incorporation. Can you see one share? If you have a share of this company, it is $1,393. Can you imagine? And like today's trading, it has gained about 2.3% and so on. Market capitalization here is 12.15 billion. That's their total and their revenue. So don't let me bore you. I just want you to see so that you too can come around there and try to play with some of these things. Look at it. If I click on their financials, I can come to look at their financials and I will see, okay, from 2020, look at their revenue. There has been an increase in revenue over the period. Wow, okay, this looks good. Because where I see a sharp decline in their revenue, that could be a red flag for me. So I can look at that thing a lot. These are the things that the accountants will look at to know the strength of the organization and things. But apart from what we call the revenue, you are also interested in earnings before interest and tax. This is a good one for you to check, and you have the tax rate. Then there's a portion also that should be earnings after interest and tax. Now you see they have good percentage margin here. Don't let me go into all these things. But there are just some of the things that you just look out for to see that a company is doing well. What of this thing? I'm sure maybe you are even using an Apple phone to listen to me now. Let's look at the Apple company. The price per Apple share now is about $247 per share. Can you imagine that? This was a share that some couple of years ago, people were buying at $2, $3. So when we talk about capital appreciation, you can imagine somebody that put in $2 or $10 those days. Now his share is now $247, and this person has maybe 100 shares, 1,000 units of shares in that company. You can imagine what that person's will be feeling like. How about, let's look at Meta, the popular Facebook. So I'm just trying to show you here that you can check out any organization that you want on this platform. You can check them out and see their performance. Okay, I haven't seen this. The next question is, how do I get involved in this? For the purpose of this class, I quickly opened an account so that I can be practical with you and you see how to go about it. Now, I can assure you, on this particular account, what I've done is I just made a deposit of about 20,000 Naira. And here, you can see the net worth of the portfolio. And you see something here, Naira portfolio, dollar portfolio. Now, when you are investing on this platform, actually the link is Optimus. I have different platforms that I use, but I think this Optimus is a little bit friendly, is very friendly. You can easily navigate your way in and out of it. And the customer service of these organizations, they are very good. They will respond to you as quickly as possible. And when you want to withdraw your money, there's no storytelling. You can withdraw your money as quickly as possible. So let's look at this. This is just when you log in. Of course, when you are logging in, when you register, there's a link in the description section where you can just go and click that link. When you click that link, you will see you can register yourself on it, and you will need your BVN, your one of your national ID, and then maybe a utility bill just for proof of address. These are some of the things you will need to complete your registration. When you have completed your registration, of course, you may not see the dollar aspect immediately to invest. When you come to invest, look at this. If I click on this invest now, you will see mutual funds, US stock, Nigerian stock. But here, there's another app called AfriVest, and then we have another one called Bamboo. There are a lot of applications that you can use for this. But then for this, I love this for the US stock. You understand? When your account has been verified, that's you submitted all your documents and things, the next thing you'll be told to do is to fund your wallet. I click on wallet. Once I click on my wallet, the next thing I want to do is I will now come to fund wallet. Look at fund wallet. If I click on the fund wallet, it tells me, do I want to put in Naira? Is it my Naira account? Is it my debit card or Western Union? So if I decide that I want to use the Naira bank account, once you click it, it will generate a unique number for you. A unique number. please, once you use that number, you've used it. Don't come back and use it again. So here it talks, the bank is Wema, and then this is the account number. I go ahead and make payment. Once I make payment, within some minutes, I will see that money in this my wallet session. Now, having seen this here, okay, but we're talking about buying stocks in the US and things. How do we go about it? So here, my account has been funded. I can come here and click on swap. Swap. All right. Now, it's telling me that USD buy rate is 15.29, sell rate is 14.89. So I will accept the terms and conditions. So for the purpose of this class, I want to go ahead to buy so that you can see how it is done. So let me say I want to buy 5,000 naira worth of dollars. So I have it here, 3. You can see if when I change it, convert it, it's going to give me $3.27. So I will review my order, and then there's no processing fee. I click on swap. Now with this, I've converted. I'm sitting down in my house. I've not gone to any bank or anywhere. So I get it. Now, do you notice something? This balance here has reduced. The balance here has reduced to 5,000 naira. So now let's go. Let's say I now want to really do the investments now. I want to. So I can click on whether invest or US stock here. And then I click on discover a stock. All right. Okay. So here, available for investment, I have to click on this fund. I have to click on this. You see, because it says start with as little as $1. Start with as little as $1. Can you see? General Electric is there, ETN, ExxonMobil, and things. You can come here and buy these shares. With you don't need to have the millions. You can buy it in fraction. We call it fractional shares. So, but let me take it quickly because of time. Wow, he said I needed to do some things on this. Okay, let me see. I should have done something here. Oh my. Oh, this is going to stop the other. I would have used the other account for you, but a lot of privacy issues on that account. If I click on fund, we need some additional details to ensure your trading securities. All right, but no problem. Let's just now, if I had fulfilled those stuff, all I need to do is to now come look for the shares. The first thing I will do is to fund, because my wallet is funded. I want to move wallet from my fund to my dollar account. So if I move that $3 there, it will enable me. I'll be able to use it to buy the shares. And then any share that I buy with this platform, I can always come to this place and see my stocks. So it will show me all the stocks that I have and things. It can show me by category and more, whether they are technological store, banking store, financials in the finance or services, and so on and so forth. So that is pretty much how you can easily get your stock. And as I said, it can be as low as 10,000 naira. Guys, if you begin to do this, if you begin to save and buy shares and you set it over a long period of time. I did something in the other episode where I talked about the compounddaily.org. Let me wrap up this session with this quickly. So under this, look at this. Let's say I decide that every year I want to buy stocks worth 1 million, or I want to buy shares worth 100,000. I have a plan to retire from active job maybe in the next 20 years, in the next 30 years, depending on your growth. If your income is not so much, what we advise you to do is, okay, you can take out, because for members of Richvision, we tell you, put your money, we have a cooperative account where you can put your money and have access to times 2 of that money. So take, for instance, maybe my income, I can only save 50,000 naira monthly. Let me even come down to as low as 10,000 naira monthly. I can save 10,000 naira monthly. Now, over the period of 12 months, my 10,000 naira is going to be about 120,000 naira. Is that not? Now, because I'm in a cooperative, that's the advantage there. Because I'm in a cooperative, I can access times 2 of what I have saved in that cooperative. So 120,000 times 2, that will give me 240,000. So from saving 10,000, I can put in 240,000 in the cooperative. So here, look at, let's assume the interest rate is an average of 10%. S&P 500 did an average, it has done an average of 10% in the last 50 years. 10%. Well, there are some months that it will do 20-something percent, some months it will do 16%, but let's put that 10% as it was said. Now, annually, because I'm going to be injecting every month, I'm using my cooperative to save so that I can invest. Now, look at this. In the length of this, how many years am I looking at? So let's say I'm looking at the next 20 years, just saving 10,000 naira monthly, depending on your income. All right. If you have bigger income, then you should be doing more. So here, payments every year, I will put in that 240,000. I'm talking of that man whose income is very low. So you have to even raise money from the cooperative to be able to do this. So here, annually also, by the time I look at it, if I start now, what it's telling me, if I click on calculate, just look at this, guys. This is 240,000 naira that I started with. In 30 years, in 20 years time, which is what, 2025 to 2045, this money will have become about 15 million naira. I don't know whether you think that is going to be a good money for you in retirement when you are not having to run helter-skelter or anything again. Just look at, over that period, that money has grown by over 10,000. Who would have known that just merely saving 10,000 with the power of the cooperative, which was able to double what you wanted to borrow, you could have saved 4.8 million. Guys, I'm still going to be talking more about the benefits of you saving and getting more money via the cooperative. For now, if you are yet to sign up, go and sign up. Click in the description below. You will see Optimus there. Click that link. Make sure you do your registration. Guys, you can't be on this platform with all the lectures we've had over the period of time and you are not taking action. I need you to take action. Begin to save now so that you can invest. And if you have enough money to invest already, you can go ahead and do the same. Well, I don't know if you have gained 1 or 2 values on the call today. If you have, can you just click the thumbs up button there? Click on the thumbs up button. It doesn't cost you anything to click on the thumbs up button. You understand? Just do it. You know, a lot is put into this to make sure that we get this information on daily basis. And also, we are committed to doing more. In the next episode, I'll be talking about the Nigerian shares, how you can get the Nigerian shares and invest in them also. Then later, we're going to be talking about the Forex trading also, for those of you, because I've seen quite a number of persons have requested on the Forex. So I decided to take on the stock first, then we'll now go into the Forex. In the Forex, we're going to be a little bit practical because of the level of risks and things that are involved. We will take a little bit of time in that aspect. You need to be actively making money. You understand? So no problem. Let's see you click on the like button and on the share button also. I've been looking forward to seeing you on the other side. And if you have not subscribed, what are you waiting for now? Click on the subscribe button. Okay, now click on it. No, not tomorrow. Click on it now. Okay. All right. Thank you once again. It's your friend and partner Olushola Popola. Do have a wonderful and blessed day. Bye.
that dawnlight breaking through. Chasing dreams, no time to lose. In this race we strive and grind. Motivation fuels the mind. Gonna rise up, we won't fall. Breaking barriers through it all. Step by step our journey's clear. Success is closer, don't you fear. Challenges we face headstrong. In this rhythm